All right, in this video, I am going to be talking about so first of all, since I'm currently on a little break from the casinos right now, I thought I'd do a talk video, just to keep my channel occupied, honestly. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is overall experiences. Like, for example, I've experienced almost everything in casinos the whole time I've been gambling. I've experienced everything from, good times, bad times, fun times, horrible losses, fun wins, even some big wins, and, random weirdos, not so good people, incidences with security, all that crap. And honestly, the only thing I have not experienced in a casino yet is a hand pay. Most of you, or at least those that know me very well, know that I've never had a hand pay, but that's another story. But that is the only thing I have not experienced in a casino yet. So I could say that, except for a hand pay, I have experienced everything else in a casino. And there's a couple, or maybe a few things I'm going to talk about in this video. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is... And yeah, I might as well get this bullshit out of the way because, obviously none of these incidences were flattering at all. And I'm going to start with the worst incident I've ever had with the security at a casino, and that's when I got kicked out of a casino. And, I shouldn't be saying it, but fuck it, I'll say it. This was at Fantasy Springs in Indio, California. And there I had recorded, I was recording the grave picking bonus on Better Off Ed. And I kid you not, literally right after I stopped the video, this asshole security comes out of nowhere and says, "Excuse me, you're not allowed to record that. You have to delete the video." And, all I do is ask for an explanation. I just ask him, why is it not allowed? He says, "It's against policy." Why is it against policy? The stupid ass gets all pissy. He says you can't do it, all that shit. So, I'm like, whatever. He backs away but doesn't go away. And, I continue to play. But in my peripheral vision, I seen that he was on his earpiece. I'm like, oh, shit, now I know what's going on. This asshole's calling for more security. So, a minute later, these other two securities show up and they tell me the same things in a more calmer way. We don't allow recording, blah, blah, blah. I just say, okay, sorry about that. And I thought that was it. But then minutes later, their apparent asshole head of public safety shows up and starts jawing at me, saying, "Excuse me, I'm the head of public safety, and the reason recording isn't allowed in here is to protect the safety of others. By recording, you're endangering the safety of others, and this is private property." And mind you, I'm cashing out while he's telling me all that bullshit because I had enough. I wanted to get the hell out of there. So I got up, grabbed my voucher, and all I tell him is, "Hey, all good, man. I will just leave. I will take my business elsewhere." He says, "That's it. You need to leave." Like, that's what I just said. And he tells these two securities, "Make sure he leaves." So then we stop seconds later, and I ask for his name. He goes, "Keep it moving." I'm sure I fed that fat asshole's ego. Yeah, talking about that fucking incident wore me out, so I needed a minute to catch my breath. Anyway, so the next incident I'll talk about is, it was last year in November at San Manuel of all places, and some of you may remember that one. But yeah, I was hassled for recording at San Manuel of all places. I was recording a bonus, or I was getting ready to record a bonus on Lightning Link Magic Pearl, and this stupid asshole security says, "Sir, you can't take pictures of the machine." Of course, I thought, really? And knowing that recording is allowed at San Manuel, I decided to challenge him, and that fucker threatened to kick me out of the casino too if I didn't show my ID. He told me that bullshit of, "I can refuse you service." That's so fucking stupid how they say, "We'll refuse you service." Like, just say you're going to kick me out, asshole. No need to get all cute with your technicality bullshit or whatever the fuck it's called. So anyway, and the only reason I stopped the video is because I wanted to get rid of that fucker. But yeah, some of that incident is on video. Anyway, so eventually this other security comes, and coincidentally his name is also Gerald, even though he spells it with the J. No, not the security that hassled me. That guy's name was Christopher. But anyway, eventually this other security comes along, And, he tells them he's trying to record the machine while he's playing it. And the other security immediately just says, they're allowed to do that here. And that was that. However, I still wasn't completely satisfied. So afterwards, I went to complain about him to, I called for their head of public safety and I complained about him. I told him I was not happy with the way he approached me and he was threatening to kick me out of the casino. And, unlike Fantasy Springs' head of public safety, this guy was cool, understanding, and said he'd talk to him. And that was that. And, I had to let everybody know. That way this doesn't happen to anybody at San Manuel. Anyway, I'm going to catch my breath for another minute, then I'll get to the next incident. Anyway, after once again catching my breath, this is the last incident I'll talk about. This happened earlier this year in June at the Cosmopolitan in Vegas, and that's when I went to go, meet some YouTubers there, fellow YouTubers, I should say. Anyway, for the moment I was by myself, walking around, looking, trying to choose what machine I want to play next, just like anybody in the casino that's gambling would. Anyway, out of nowhere, this bald asshole security suddenly comes at me and says, "Let me see your ID." I thought that was weird. ID? I don't look like a fucking kid. And and I asked him, "Why do you want to see my ID?" He says, "Have you trespassed here before?" I said, "Trespassing? What do you mean trespassing?" He says, "Yeah, because you're trespassing." I'm like, "What? I'm just in here gambling just like anybody would here." So finally, I gave that stupid asshole my ID, and he rated. He has his earpiece on, and I asked him, "What's this all about?" He says, "Hold on," and then finally says, "All right, you're good to go." But still, I'm like, "What the fuck?" Anyway, and these YouTubers I went to go meet, none of them probably won't watch this video. They're probably not watching, but yeah, all the YouTubers you see like. Rich and Gil of the Palm Springs Spinners, Jessica of Gambaholic Queen Slots, and of course our good friend Lori. They all saw that. They all witnessed that incident in person. And like I said, none of them probably aren't watching this video and won't watch it, but they all saw that crap happen in person. But I thought, man, why the fuck does this shit happen to me? I'm not doing nothing wrong. But anyway, yeah, those are all the incidences with security that I've experienced in casinos. And now I'm going to talk about the other things in this video. Yeah, and this is actually the last thing I'm going to talk about. I do apologize for a second ago where I said I'd talk about a few more things. But no, this is the last thing I'll talk about, which is the random weirdos. And well, I'm sure we've all come across those random weirdos at some point in our gambling lives in the casinos, right? Right, of course we have. Why wouldn't we? But anyway, like the first one, okay, previously I've talked about how, stopping the reels has no effect or whatever. Anyway, someone once told me, "Why didn't you stop the reels? You probably would have got the bonus." I said, no, I wouldn't have got the bonus anyway. And I explained to him how stopping the reels has no effect on your spins. And then, of course, this has happened a number of times where some, pathetic weirdos ask me for money. Like, "Hey, you got $5? You got $10? You got $1?" I'm like, are you fucking kidding? You're really asking me for money? I mean, all I do is tell them nope or no. And if they persist, I just keep saying, "No, I sure can't," or "No, I sure don't have that money to spare." Nope. I should just tell them the truth, because I'm always thinking, like, if you got to be asking people for money, you shouldn't even be in the casino gambling. You shouldn't be gambling if you have to ask someone for money. I mean, I've never gone off on anybody in that aspect, but maybe I will one day if they bug me that much. But I always thought that was fucking stupid. Transients, we'll call them, or casino transients, whatever we want to call them. But yeah, that's happened a number of times where they ask me for money. As a matter of fact, it happened not too long ago. Someone asked me, "Hey, you got $5?" I said, "No, I don't." But thankfully, that person didn't persist. And and also, those that know me very well know that I hate it when people come behind me and stand and watch me play. That shit is annoying as hell. I mean, if someone comes up and actually talks to me or is playing, like a neighbor, if they're actually talking, I don't mind that. But if people come up and just stand behind me and watch all creepily silent, that pisses me off. And plus, it's bad luck. And at least for the moment, that's all I could think about as far as random weirdos go. But yeah, oh, and well, actually, there's nothing wrong with this. I've also had people ask me for cigarettes, but I don't have no problem with that. After all, casinos are always smoky, aren't they? But I believe that's all I have for today. I might make one more talk video before I start posting slot videos again. So I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me. And as always, when I do these talk videos, best of luck to all of you gamblers out there. Hope you win big, and we'll see you next time.